Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. Hope you guys are all watching. Send me a signal. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can see me. And let me know you're ready to have a nice chit chat here at 5 o'clock in Los Angeles, California. And of course, my favorite time zone, 8 o'clock in the wonderful state of New Jersey, or New York, or Connecticut, or Florida, or Boston, anything on the East Coast. Hope you guys are having a wonderful night, no matter what it is you're doing or wherever it is you are. I'm actually wearing a suit with a red tie right now because in an hour and a half, I'm going to the world famous Vibrato Jazz and Blues Club in Beverly Hills. It's actually Bel Air. And I'm going to be the opening act for one of my favorite singing sensations, celebrities, Robert Davi. Robert Davi is an incredible actor and singer. One of his first breakthrough performances was in the movie Goonies. If you guys remember the movie Goonies, and then he went on to be one of the most notorious wise guys slash murderers slash evil person in a 007 James Bond movie called License to Kill. Had a TV series called, I forgot the name of the series, The Profiler, and then he went on to do many, many, many movies. And tonight he's doing what I would say is one of the best Sinatra tributes or dedications or fun or jolly or whatever it is to Frank Sinatra. So make sure you guys, if you're not doing anything tonight and you want to come down, that's Vibrato tonight at 7:30, Jazz and Blues Club in Beverly Hills slash Bel Air, California. And that's why I'm all dressed up. And all the reason is this is actually the last podcast that I'm going to do before Christmas. It's not the last podcast that I'm going to do for the year, but it's the last podcast that I'm going to do before Christmas. So I have a lot of announcements to make, a lot of people to thank, a lot of people I want to talk to. I'm going to take in a lot of questions since I don't have a guest on the show tonight, and I will tell you exactly why we here at Live from My Mother's Basement, including my producer Tatiana, we do the right thing when it comes to COVID safety. Obviously, things are getting worse now, and you don't know whether you're coming or going. I have been double vaccinated. I'm getting my third vaccination next week after Christmas, just before the new year. But I was just entertaining on cruise ships. 3 different ships, 3 different weeks. And I had to get a COVID check every 2 days on the ship. And before I got on the ship, I had the one that takes 24 hours. On the ship, you get another one for the 24-hour check, but you also get the one that's immediate, the rapid. So you have to do what's right. Now, if I went on a ship for 3 weeks, then I got on a plane, then I come to Los Angeles, although I did get checked and I don't have COVID, best not have anybody in the room with me tonight because you never know what's going to happen. Better safe than sorry. Because I know I would hate to be the person that got somebody sick. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the world right now. Obviously, I'm in Los Angeles. Hi, Nick. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for letting me know that you can hear me. Thank you, everybody here on Instagram. And thank you, everybody on Facebook, of course. And this will be also uploaded to YouTube, iTunes, and all kinds of wonderful, wonderful places for you guys to watch my goofy face. It seems the year is coming to an end. I'm going to have a few shows and then a big one on New Year's Eve. And of course, the question is going to be, what is everybody's New Year's Eve resolution? And is anybody going to stick to the New Year's Eve resolution? I'm happy to be wearing this red tie tonight to symbolize Christmas. This tie is actually very, very old, and it belongs to my dad. I brought it with me on the ship because I was filming some jokes, and I thought it would be cool that my character Michelle was wearing the tie. Then I realized this tie is from when my dad was in his 50s. My dad is now 85 years old. And I thought it was really cool that he had this and he wore it as a business attire when he was wearing suits back in the day. I have a lot of ties from back in the day, and I use them for either Michelle or Uncle Tommy. Some of the ties are actually from when Uncle Tommy was alive back in the good old days, 70s and 80s, when I first started impersonating my uncle, long before I ever thought that I'd become a comedian. Isn't that cool? Thank you so much for saying I look handsome tonight. Joyce, I really appreciate that. There's a lot of people writing to me right now on Instagram, and I hope that you will all night long. I'm going to keep on talking for at least a good 45 minutes. I have some pizza, and one of the reasons why I have pizza right now is because this could be the second to last week that I stop eating pizza, because my New Year's resolution is to give up Coca-Cola, pizza, pasta, bread, and everything that's made me so damn fat. Karen underscore put love on Instagram says, looking good, where's your red hat? Dad red tie, what a beautiful memory. Well, thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate that. I'm not wearing a hat for my show tonight. Maybe when we do the podcast next week, I will find myself a Santa Claus hat. Actually, I do. I have a Santa Claus hat that's in the basement at my house in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and it says Marino in the white portion of the hat. So for you, Karen, I will definitely go ahead and wear that hat, and I'll wear it for everybody else. Actually, today, I got a haircut. What do you think? I went to a place that I've been going to for 30 years. It's called Trim a Salon. Trim a Salon is on Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, and I've been going to see Danny Lynn for many, many years, and I got a nice haircut today at Trim Salon. And so, how did you make out at the doctor's today? And Mike, I have original ties from the 60s. Okay, that's cool. I went to see the skin doctor today. It's a follow-up visit on the cancer that I had removed from this portion of my nose. And I also had the same type of skin cancer removed from a portion on my ankle, which is in a really bad position because it's below the calf, above the ankle. And if you've ever had anything stitched at that area, it's hard for it to cure because you're always walking around. And I was exercising, so it was difficult. But it's 100%. I had the rest of my body checked for cancer. I'm cancer-free. Thank you, Castle Dermatology in Reseda, California. Dr. Gashry is my guy, Payman Gashry. And I'm happy that I went today. I wasn't supposed to be in California until March of next year. Luckily, I went on these two cruise ships. One went to the west side of the Caribbean. One went to the right side of the Caribbean. This one actually went to Cabo St. Lucas. And I got to stop off here in California. I got off the ship in Long Beach yesterday. Once I got off the ship, I came to my place here with my big, beautiful sign that doesn't need to travel with me no more because it's stuck here. And I came over here. And now I'm lucky enough to go over to one of my favorite, most incredible jazz clubs in the world. How many people remember the owner, Herb Alpert? Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. Well, he has a jazz and blues club called Vibrato Grill and Jazz. I believe that's the title of it. Vibrato Grill and Jazz. And that's in Beverly Hills, California, and tonight at 7:30, the show stars Robert Davi. I've talked about Robert Davi many times on my show. I'm hoping eventually I'll have him here on the show. We're friends, and we enjoy each other's company. Tonight is going to be the first time that I'm actually going to get to see him and perform with him in probably over a year, because of the shit that has happened in this world. So hopefully tonight It'll be a very successful show, and not a lot of people will be afraid to go out and enjoy some entertainment. There's also a movie out right now, ladies and gentlemen, and you could watch this movie. It's called Four Cousins and a Christmas. It's a Christmas story of four cousins who get together for the first time in a long time to celebrate the holidays and to pay homage to their grandmother who passes away in the movie. The grandfather is played by Robert Davi. The granddaughters are all up and coming, new, wonderful, gorgeous actresses who also sing the soundtrack to the movie. And not only that, Terry Polo, who's a big time star, and she's been in all the Meet the Focker movies, and she plays the wife. Nick Totoro, who you all know, who's been in a lot of movies, is in this project as well. Yours truly is in the project. I play Terry Polo's husband, and I also play Robert Davi's son-in-law, which is kind of really funny. We never even knew that we were both in the movie until we got on set, and then we started laughing. So hopefully he and I will get a nice chuckle out of that tonight as we go over to vibratos. Anyway, some people were asking me some silly questions right now. Right now, one of my favorite actors is watching me, and I did a throw to him the other day. I love him. He's the greatest. He's talking about how he has ties from the 60s, and we're talking about the famous Frank Severo. Frank Severo, we all know from The Godfather, and we all know from Goodfellas. What an unbelievable pedigree to have in your life, to be in the two most famous movies, as far as I'm concerned, of all time. Martin Scorsese, of course, Robert De Niro, of course, Joe Pesci, of course, Ray Liotta from New Jersey. Great, great, great guys, great actors. Wow. And Frank wants to come on my show. So say hello to Frank Severo in Instagram. What an unbelievable talent. And I'm sure Frank knows Robert Davi as well. If not that they have worked together, but maybe in passing. So obviously a lot of things are closing in New York City. I only saw in the news that Broadway is going to shut down for quite some time. Now that's got to be like the saddest thing. Look what time of year it is, folks. It's the holidays. And don't most people go to plays around the holidays? When you travel to the most famous city in the world, it's just unbelievable. We're talking about New York City. Cabs, snow, hot dogs on the street, pretzels. I mean, come on. All that wonderful stuff. And sadly, they shut the doors on a lot of plays. I forgot how many. Because of the new variant. I don't even know what the new variant is called. I really don't even care. I don't want to mention it. It sucks. Because up till 2 weeks ago, I thought the world was making a big comeback. We didn't have to worry anymore. And maybe people wouldn't be wearing the masks anymore. Now I find myself running to get another vaccine and only hoping that it works. You know what's really sad is there was supposed to be about 50 people getting together for our Christmas Eve dinner at my cousin Joseph's house. Costantino. You think that's Italian? Phyllis Costantino, Nicole, Joey. Nice Italian names. I was really hoping that that was going to happen. And I actually don't even like fish. I'm allergic to fish. I don't look at the fish. I don't do the seven fishes dinner. I can't stand it. However, that's what they were going to do, and I wanted to be a part of it because, like you guys, I haven't seen a lot of family members in a long, long time. And they're getting older. The older they get, you start to wonder, hey, man, what are we going to do if they're not around next year? This would have been the year to get together so we could spend some time with them. Next year, they might not be around. It's a sad thing to think about, but it is a reality. You know, a lot of my closest cousins, aunts and uncles, 80s, 90s, So we're not going to gather. A lot of people decided, you know what, skip it. I'd rather be alone than in danger. So we're going to see what that's all going to be like. And then on Christmas Day, once again, all these people who were planning to spend Christmas together will not. The only thing left is New Year's Eve. Now, I have a New Year's Eve show, and I'll make that announcement right now. So, New Year's Eve, if you don't have any plans, and I do have a phone number for you to call to see if it's something that you want to get involved in. New Year's Eve, I'm going to be with Steve Trevelise. Steve Trevelise is a radio personality in New Jersey on 101.5. He's a phenomenal radio personality, and he's also a great comedian and a good friend. So Steve Trevelise from 101.5 will be on the show. A fellow comedian named Gerald Benford will be on the show, and then yours truly will bring in the new year with some comedy. Not only is there a comedy show at this venue, of course, there's a full buffet, champagne, DJ, dancing, all at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Princeton, New Jersey. So if you want to come out on New Year's Eve and bring in the New Year's Eve with myself, you can go to catcharisingstar.com and grab yourself some tickets. You can go to mikemarino.net and grab yourself some tickets as well. Or you can call, the phone number is 781-568-1471. Merry Christmas there, Frank Severo. Appreciate that. Again, that number at the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Princeton is 781, are you listening? 781-568-1471, New Year's Eve. I am going to do one more, The Not So Late Show, and that's going to be on December 26th in the basement with two of my fellow entertainers. We got a comedian coming on the show. Her name is Michelle Trainer. She's very, very funny. And a special singer coming on the show who's never done this type of work before, but she's making a big name for herself on TikTok. So if you enjoy going to TikTok and watching everybody make funny shit happen, you're going to see this. Her name is Christy. I can't say her last name just yet, but she will be on the show. It's only $4.99. $4.99 to watch me and a couple of knuckleheads in the basement of my house trying to make you laugh the day after Christmas when you're eating leftovers from Christmas Day. So why don't you go to my Facebook fan page, Instagram, go to my Facebook fan page, people, hi, it's right here on this channel. Sunday night, December 26th at 7 o'clock on the East Coast, 4 o'clock here on the West Coast. That is the Not So Late Show. You get it? It's not the Late Show. And it's really not that late. The Not So Late Show with me, Mike Marino. And then Tuesday night of next week will be my last podcast for 2021. If everything goes right, I got a great radio personality coming on the show. Can't make that announcement. He's got to make the COVID test. He's got to sign the contract, and he's got to come on the show. That's December 28th at 8 o'clock, live from my mother's basement in the real basement next week. So make sure you tune in and you catch that. I'm going to do out some shout-outs right now to some of my friends that are writing into the show. Then I'm going to take in some questions. You know, as a comedian working in the industry, a lot of people ask me, who are your favorite comedians? And they mention stars like Richard Pryor and Rodney Dangerfield and, and guys like this. And of course, they are my favorites. I grew up listening to Rodney Dangerfield's albums. I wanted to impersonate him. I wanted to be him. Maybe someday they'll make the life story of Rodney Dangerfield and I'll get to play him, because in a way, I might even resemble him a little bit, and I know I can impersonate him. But what about the comedians that are writing into me right now, like Marianne Maizano? She's very, very funny. She does a great, great show called The Italian Chicks. Check her out. Right now, she's watching on Instagram. Hi, Marianne. I hope you're watching right now. I enjoyed talking to you today, and it was funny as shit. I'm sitting here in the house in Los Angeles, California. This is NoHo. I'm drinking an iced tea, and in a couple of minutes, I'm going to have a couple of slices of pizza because that's how I roll. I already made the announcement that after next week, I'm giving up pizza. All right? So let's see who's writing to me right now. If anybody has any questions for me, comedian Mike Marino, I know a lot of people ask me the same question. There are certain jokes that I did on the internet that went viral. So, if anybody wants to know how it actually happened, you could ask me that question and tell me what your favorite joke is and when, where, and how did it happen, and did I actually even know it was going to happen before it did? That would be a big part for me to play, says Fred Russ. Thank you so much. Joey Villa, Pat Cooper. That's right. Pat Cooper, if you don't know exactly who he is, was probably one of the most original Italian comedians, knocking it around the world and working with Sinatra back in the day more than anybody. I also have a lot of comedian friends from the Comedy Store, from the Laugh Factory. Look at even Anthony Arena is saying Pat Cooper. Pat Cooper actually was a phenomenon. He's still alive. He's still doing stand-up. I believe he's in Florida these days. I actually did a comedy roast for Dick Capri last week in Florida on a Sunday night. Dick Capri is 90 years old. He's one of the original comedians who was playing out in the Borscht Belt, which is upstate New York. If you remember the hotels in the old school times from the movie Dirty Dancing, this is where those hotels were. And there were guys like Pat Cooper, Joey Villa, and of course Dick Capri, a couple other guys that were on the dais that night. I can't remember exactly who they were. One of my favorite comedians who opened for Sinatra for 30 years, his name is Tom Dreesen, and I know he wants to come on my show, and I'm definitely going to make that happen. That would be really, really great. This guy opened for Frank Sinatra. He was always on The Tonight Show. These are basically the fathers of stand-up comedy. The original stand-up comedy, when there was even a time where they were stopping them from doing dirty jokes and bad jokes, but eventually they broke through and everything became normal. You don't have to be filthy, but it's nice to curse every once in a while. The shows that I was just doing on these cruise ships, you had to be squeaky clean. I was biting my tongue the whole fucking time. But you know what? I like the paycheck. Tonight I'm probably going to do a clean show because when you're standing in front of a lot of people who are dressed up and you know the band's on stage wearing tuxedos and the heavyweight singer who's going to come out and knock it out of the ballpark, you want to be gracious and let people know that you're a clean entertainer. It's not like I'm going to be doing anything filthy anyway. All right, so here we are on Facebook. I'm going to rewind. I'm going to take in some questions, and I'm going to take in some questions from Instagram here at the same time. So let's see if I can't make this happen. What is your question for Mike Marino here in North Hollywood, California? Nick Aquino, how you doing? Ingrid Becker, nice to see you. I'll be home on tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'll be in New Jersey. I'll be around for Christmas. Don't look like anything's going to be happening on my street. John, how you doing? Lynn Marie, how are you? It's nice to see you. What is your question, guys? Hello to Barb. One of our friends watching the show has cancer, so we send you our love and our prayers. Say hello to Barbara as well. Thank you so much, Nick. Have a Merry Christmas to you too. And I get my booster on the 28th. Yeah, I'm going to be getting my booster shot on the 28th as well. I'm petrified. I hope nothing happens. But Pat Henry, yep, that was a good comedian back in the day too. And of course, George Carlin. But there's a lot of comedians from way back before then. Thank you, Magdalena. Magdalena, we were all set to come to Canada. The Canadian tour was supposed to be the second week of February. Unfortunately and sadly, everybody, Canada has been canceled. They will not let the Americans come in, and the Canadians cannot come to America. So that really, really sucks. Hello, Katrina. Thank you for calling me handsome. Katrina Reed, I know you 30 years. I miss you. I love you. I hope you're okay. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And yes, Dom Irrera, one of the greatest all-time Italian comedians. When you need to be part of an Italian comedy show, you want to look up Dom Irrera. Right now, Catch a Rising Star, Catch South Jersey is watching me here on Instagram. We just talked about New Year's Eve. I told everybody they got to come to the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We mentioned how to get tickets, where to get tickets, what phone number to call, and so on and so forth. Brothers from Brooklyn, how you guys doing? It's nice to see you tonight. Folks, one of the coolest sights on Instagram is these young kids from Brooklyn, New York. They're Italian, and they are badass. Follow my friends on Brothers from Brooklyn. Brothers from Brooklyn, follow me back, as I know you do. And thank you so much. I'm having my little Christmas last show before the holiday, and then I'm going to go into Hollywood tonight. That's right, Beverly Hills, to do a big show with Robert Davi. My dad's doing great. Thank you so much for asking, Karen. I really appreciate that. My father's 85 years old, and we are going to do something special for the holidays no matter what. Lori Bertolotti, Napolitano, it's nice to see you. Folks, do you need some charcuterie? Do you like cheese, ham, salami, and all kinds of great flavors and crackers on a nice plate? Go to Lori Napolitano here on Instagram, or char_cooterie, I believe that's it, and get yourself some really cool charcuterie. And now that I'm here on the air, I wanted to call you Lori because I need two. I need two $50 plates for Christmas. One for my table and one for my friend's table. Stop. You're too nice. Thank you so much. So the brothers from Brooklyn say, hey man, the only thing we have in this world is the way you treat other people. If you don't have any money, you can still be nice to people. If you have a lot of money, you could be nicer to people. All right? It's easy. It's fun. I do it all the time. I'm even nice to people who I think are assholes because it's funny to me. Hannah Doherty, it's nice to see you. Johnny Frieda, you and I need to get together. Now, I know you got COVID, and I feel really bad about that. But, buddy, stick it out. Let's get in shape. The holidays could be a lonely place for a lot of people. Very lonely. And now, because of the pandemic, people can't get together. That makes it even more lonely. You know what, guys? Write to me. I'll make you laugh. Right here on Instagram, right here on Facebook. Stay in touch with me. I got your back. You know what? Sometimes it's easier for me to do it because it's what I do for a living anyway. However, you're helping me back. Don't think for 1 minute that a comedian who's fortunate enough to do what I want to do for a living and get paid, I can't wait to go to work. I want to go to work. But I do have my bouts of being lonely. I was just on a cruise ship for 3 weeks, and I wasn't with anybody. And you're looking at a bunch of couples who are hugging and kissing and having some fun, and you're making them laugh, and then basically you grab a cup of coffee and you go to sleep. So it could be a little toxic on my own head. So you help me, I'll help you right back. You dig? Samantha Torzak Baker, hi, how are you? Jennifer Foley, how are you? I went to junior high with Jennifer Foley. Jen, we had a high school reunion, Scotch Plains Family high school reunion the day after Thanksgiving. What a blast. Folks, it's so cool to get together with your classmates from back in the day. Who knows really why that's such a special time that you never really forget? I loved school in general. I like kindergarten, first grade through sixth grade, junior high, high school. I was happy as can be. There was no fights, no violence. Everybody was having a good time. I played the drums. You met your first love. You went to the prom. Holy shit, was this a great time. And I guess that's what built my character, because I was funny my whole life. I couldn't wait to pull pranks. I used to pull pranks on everybody when I was younger. Ingrid Becker Zarin says, we just went to the Radio City show 1 week before they shut down. Oh, yeah, Radio City Music Hall. No shows for the holidays. All those Rockettes, all those entertainers, all those people. They can't go. Sherry Cole, hello, how are you? Marianne Groover, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for chiming in and saying hello. Suzanne D. Clerico, hi, how are you? Um, Smoking weed in the high school bathroom, somebody says. That's funny. We didn't smoke weed at that time, but there were what we called the pot freaks. Pot freaks. Okay, so what do we got? Hold on a minute. I'm reading a lot of different emails from folks. Brian Figueroa, did you see Tony Bennett killing it last night at age 90? Yes, I did. The Tony Bennett show last night was absolutely fantastic. I thought it was great. I wish I could have been the comedian that opened for that show. I don't think they even had one. I mean, I know they didn't have one because I was watching it, but that would have been great. Frankie Impergamo, Merry Christmas to you, Frank. I'll be in Boston. I'm coming to Boston on April 7th. I actually know that. Me and Joe Gorga from the Jersey Housewives, we're coming to Boston, and we're playing the Wilbur Theater, Boston. On the 9th, we will be in Atlantic City at Harrah's. Sal Manzo, sing a Christmas song. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching me right now, I want you to go to Sal Manzo on Facebook. He's telling me I should sing a Christmas song. Well, he knows damn well I can't sing. But this man can sing a Christmas song or any song like nobody's business. One of the nicest guys in the industry. And boy, does he have a voice. So if you're here on Instagram, Sal Manzo. If you're here on Facebook, look him up, Sal Manzo. He was on my podcast once before. I have been begging him to come to my show again. But I believe he is doing a New Year's Eve show on the internet. And Sal, if you would like to plug that on my Facebook, I'm sure my fans would love to listen to you sing. Rob Shim says, make America Italian again. And I'm definitely going to do that. In fact, I'll tell you guys in a second the name of my tour for 2022. I do have to talk it over with my producer, Tatiana, and see if she likes the idea. But we're coming out with new clothes, new sweatshirts, new hats, new banners, new masks. Unfortunately, we're going to have masks. And we're going to have the sweatsuits, the sweatpants, the hoodies, you name it, the t-shirts. Everything will say Make America Italian again. But I was thinking now it would say Make America Italian again, meet the family. And you guys know who the family is. Or do you? So, thank you so much, Sal. You're welcome, sir. Look at you, so handsomely dressed up. Bellissimo. Grazie, Anne. I appreciate you saying that. All right, everybody. Let's do some shout outs to people who helped me make this podcast happen throughout the year. Anybody at any time can sponsor any type of a show. I think what's great about my sponsors is not only do they sponsor this live from my mother's basement, but they get to sponsor the live event too. So if you come to see me live, the sponsorship will be there, able to be, what are the words I'm looking for? The sponsor will be on the Gobotrons, on the shirts, on the brochures. So if you're watching and you want to sponsor one of the shows, go to MikeMarinoLive@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know what you think, and we'll show you how we do what we do. One of the greatest sponsors that I had this year is Diablo Moon. I'm going to thank them again in long form next Tuesday night. Diablo Moon, and if you want to know who they are, go to diablomoon.shop, and you can see the products that they have. My friend James Checchio, as we call him, Jim Checchio, thank you so much. He's an unbelievable chiropractor, and he is in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. More on Jim next Tuesday night when we thank personally 100% all the sponsors. I want to mention everybody tonight anyway. Here's one of the coolest sponsors that I had. Here's how you could do tit for tat, if you know that term. There's a young lady out there. Her name is Laura Brunetti, and she loves helping people. She helps a lot of people who have mental disorders, and she helps them by painting and making them learn how to paint. She also has a couple of books out. She donated money towards the podcast. She came on the podcast. Laura, thank you so much. I hope I get to see you when I get back to New Jersey tomorrow night for the next couple of weeks before I ship back out onto boat that's going to go out of Miami. Thank you, Dr. Andy Rosenfarb from AccuVision Acupuncture of Westfield, New Jersey. Folks, if you need acupuncture in the Jersey area, look up Dr. Andy Rosenfarb at AccuVision Acupuncture in Westfield, New Jersey. Michael Petty, who has a real estate firm in Florida, and we're going to do a lot more for Michael Petty. But if you're listening, or if he's listening, he's going to be at one of the shows that I'm going to do in Boca Raton in Fort Lauderdale. That's Boca Raton in the new year at the Raz Room, and we'll learn more about him and his company. This one didn't come through yet. And of course, I always say hello and a nice big shout out to Regina's Pizza in Akron, Ohio. They've been in business for over 52 years. Foggia Italian Market and Deli here in Los Angeles, California, down in Lakewood. Big shout out to our friend Paul Simmons, who helps kids living with autism. A lot of great people have come on my show. Almost 210 episodes as far as I know. One of the greatest episodes and sponsors is our friend Johnny Salami. That's right, Johnny Salami of Hero Kings in Nutley, New Jersey. Everybody's going to get a big shout out next Tuesday night as we get ready to ring in the new year and set some tickets and records and all kinds of crazy shit when it comes to New Year's Eve. My tour for 2022 is out of control. I just hope the shows don't get canceled. All right? Let's check out a couple more questions, and then I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go over to vibrato. All right. Anybody, go for it. And I'm going to take a nice big bite out of my pizza. Thank you so much, everybody, for always watching and supporting and listening to Live from My Mother's Basement. We're on iTunes, Google, Spotify, Anchor, Italian American Radio in New York City. You can watch it on YouTube. You check me out on Instagram, my website, MikeMarino.net, Twitter, LinkedIn, Patreon, you name it. You got a question for me? Just go, hey, Marino, ask that question, and I'll answer it for you. I do it all the time. I put out 3 cameos today. If you want me to wish somebody a happy birthday for you, you want me to say Merry Christmas to somebody, you want me to say Happy New Year, you want it to me to tell somebody to go fuck themselves, you want me to tell somebody a couple of jokes, all you have to do is go to Cameo at Mike Marino Live, and I'll make that. It's very inexpensive. The tour dates are all over my website, MikeMarino.net. Anyone giving odds on how long you stay on your diet? I'll take odds on my diet. I won't stay on it more than a day. Fuck, man. How could you not eat this? It's cold and it's delicious. I don't know what's going to happen, but we got to try because I'm getting older and I do have high cholesterol. Mario, how you doing? I think eating and podcasting is very unprofessional. So I won't do it. Merry Christmas from Australia. All right. Here we have a friend writing into the show from Australia. Nick Morelli. Nick, thank you so much for saying Merry Christmas from Australia. How are things in Australia? Can you tell us what the COVID thing is like out there in Australia? Are you guys getting locked down like we are? And Susan, thank you so much for saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas, Sal Manzo. Merry Christmas, Ann Sapphire. Lisa Margioroli. I actually have a crack in my phone, so sometimes I can't read everybody's name. The Art of the Room. The Art Room. Oh, hey, Art Room, how are you? There's someone who writes in all the time. It's Art of the Drum. Ooh, I owe a lot of people t-shirts. So many people ordered t-shirts this week, and thank you, thank you, thank you. I will get them in the mail as soon as I get to my warehouse tomorrow, which is in New Jersey, and I will get them to you right away. They're not going to make it for Christmas, but that's okay. Hand it to somebody after Christmas, and you'll have that special presentation that nobody else has. You did it after Christmas. The Art Room 22, I don't know what I got to do to get you to come to a show. I've been telling you about where I'm performing for a long, long time, and you just never come. You can do it. Merry Christmas to you too. Merry Christmas, everybody. And don't forget all the shows that I'm going to be doing. Okay, it is 20 minutes to the hour, and I got to get to my show. I'm very, very excited to go to perform tonight. This is going to be so cool. There's a little bit of talk that Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be at the show tonight. And I sure would love to perform in front of him. I think I'll break his balls a little bit. But nonetheless, Robert Davi's taking that stage tonight. I'm going to sit back and have myself a nice Chianti or whatever, watch the show, and have some fun. So everybody, thank you so much for watching the last show that I'm going to do before Christmas here in Los Angeles, California. I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Blueshell, for always making this work and keeping me going. I'll be around tomorrow morning for the morning walk with Mike. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay in shape. God bless everybody. Stay away from COVID, stay clean, do what you got to do. I feel everybody's entitled to their opinion. If you're not going to hurt somebody, then it's okay with me. And let's make America Italian again. Remember my motto: you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And how do I end every single one of my broadcasts? By always saying the same thing: don't take no shit from nobody. Good night. Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.